For nearly 2 decades, this debate had a simple answer. Landon Donovan, the face of American soccer, the player who delivered when the country needed him most, the man responsible for some of the most iconic moments in USMNT history. But now, for the first time, that answer doesn't feel so obvious anymore. Because Christian Pulisic is coming. And the question American soccer fans can no longer avoid is this: who is America's greatest player? Landon Donovan or Christian Pulisic? Because while both wore the same badge, their journeys couldn't be more different. Let's start with Donovan, because before the sold-out stadiums, before the European hype, before the United States started talking seriously about competing with football's elite, there was Landon Donovan. Back then, American soccer was different, smaller, less respected, less visible. The USMNT wasn't expected to challenge the world's biggest nations. It was expected to survive them. And somehow, Donovan became the player who kept pushing those limits. World Cups, Gold Cups, historic goals, clutch performances, again and again. When America needed a moment, Donovan delivered one. And then came 2010. USA versus Algeria, 91st minute. The entire country holding its breath. One attack, one chance, one goal. A moment so iconic that American soccer fans still remember exactly where they were when it happened. That's the thing about Donovan. He didn't just play for the national team. He helped define it. For years, he wasn't just America's best player. He was American soccer. But then football changed. And so did expectations. Because eventually, a new generation arrived. And leading that generation was Christian Pulisic. The first thing people noticed was the talent, the dribbling, the confidence, the fearlessness. But talent wasn't the real story. Pressure was, because Pulisic wasn't asked to help American soccer grow. He was asked to take it somewhere it had never been before. That's a completely different burden. Donovan had to build belief. Pulisic had to justify it. And that's harder than people think. Every touch analyzed, every performance debated, every mistake magnified. For years, American fans searched for the next superstar. Then suddenly they had one Champions League winner, star in Europe's biggest leagues, the face of a new era. And unlike previous generations, Pulisic grew up with expectations that the United States could actually compete, not participate, compete. It's a different world from the one Donovan inherited, which makes this debate almost impossible. Because what are we really measuring? The player or the impact? Because if we're talking about legacy, Donovan still owns moments that helped shape American soccer itself. Moments that changed how the sport was viewed in the United States. Moments that built the foundation. But if we're talking about pure ability, about how high an American player can climb in modern football, Pulisic may already have the edge. And that's where everything gets complicated. Because greatness isn't always about being better. Sometimes it's about being first. Sometimes it's about changing what's possible. And both of these players did exactly that. Donovan showed America that football mattered. Pulisic showed America that football could dream bigger. One built the bridge, the other crossed it. So, who is America's greatest player? The pioneer who created belief? Or the superstar trying to redefine it? Honestly, the answer probably depends on when you fell in love with the game. But one thing is certain. Without Landon Donovan, there might never have been a Christian Pulisic. And without Christian Pulisic, American soccer might never discover how far it can truly go. Maybe that's why this debate is so difficult. Because sometimes the greatest player isn't replacing the legend. He's continuing the story. And that story is still being written.